Hello, I'm Andrew Pearson, Chief Marketing Officer at Socio, now part of Webex. And together with my colleague Kara Gladish, Manager of Customer Experience, we are so excited to talk to you about how to create and prove event success. As part of the new Webex events portfolio, Socio's end-to-end event management platform was designed from the beginning to combine the products and features that drive ROI with a rich set of data collection, reporting, and measurement tools. Over my long marketing careers, events have proven time and time again to be one of the highest ROI channels. Not only can they be a great source of direct revenue from ticket sales and sponsorships, but the impact on sales, brand, customer retention, partnerships, and referrals are tremendous. But often that ROI has been hard to prove, and those budgets sometimes hard to justify. Many event professionals, marketers, and other stakeholders can probably resonate with these key questions. How do I know if my event was worth it? How do my sponsors know it was worth it? And how do I know if my attendees had a great experience? Classic measurements like number of registrations and attendees are just table stakes, but really just scratch the surface. And just like the world's approach to events has radically transformed, so has the way we articulate and measure success, whether before, during, or after the event.
Absolutely, Andrew. Data is more important than ever, and Socio customers get access to an entire data dashboard and comprehensive set of metrics, right down to every second, click, and interaction that help you answer those questions. In fact, if you're watching now, we can deliver a personalized experience at scale based on your interactions with WebexOne, and over time, build an event program that delivers ongoing value. Take a look at the wealth of data we're able to provide. Here's a high-level view of user engagement. Here we can see the engagement within each of the event features and even drill into them, including all aspects of sponsor booth engagement. More on that in a bit. One of my favorite measurements of engagement is the number of connections made between attendees, as a top reason for attending events in general is networking. This stat is a great measure of stickiness and the value your attendees are getting beyond your content. We're also able to power feedback on speakers and sessions via ratings and reviews, and you can get a pulse of overall feedback during your event with attendee insights. And not only do you have dashboards, you can export everything you've seen here and more to spreadsheets. I like to call this the data motherlode. You have data for countless attendee interactions, and for your live streams, you can see how long people watched them, down to the minute on an individual level. And I really love how you can export the live stream chat logs. These become treasure troves of qualitative data. This data starts appearing in the dashboard as soon as your event is published, which can be days or months before it actually begins, and is gathered even after it ends. This level of insight helps us show leadership real evidence of where the event succeeded and what can be improved upon next time.
This data-driven approach and the importance of creating and improving event ROI is important for all kinds of events, including externally facing and those for internal audiences. All of your audiences, including your employees and other internal stakeholders, they deserve that rich, immersive, interactive, and branded experience when they come together. The WebEx Events portfolio gives companies and organizations of all types and sizes an easy path and all-in-one solution to elevate their external and internal event experiences, whether an annual sales kickoff, company all hands, an onboarding event, product launch, user conference, or trade show. And investing in creating that interactive event experience pays enormous dividends. So let's talk about some of the features that enable it. Slido, also part of WebEx, is integrated with Socio and offers a wealth of engagement features, including polls, quizzes, and word clouds, which you can explore yourself during WebexOne. Just navigate over to the polls feature in the event to share your perspectives today. Quizzes from Slido are a great way to test attendees' knowledge, and you can even include a timer or show the leaderboard. You can make any event super fun with Socio's gamification functionality. Lessonly, a leading training software company, uses Socio for their internal and external events, including their sales kickoff, their 2021 Skills Summit, and their annual user conference called Yellowship. Lessonly is masterful at branding, and you can see here how they've played up their mascot, Ollie Llama. The game has consistently been a hit with all their events too. Lessonly's marketing specialist, Olivia Atkinson, says, Socio helped us make Yellowship feel like more of an immersive, ongoing experience than just a 3-day conference.
I completely agree. Whether an internal event or external event, the game feature is the perfect vehicle to incentivize attendees, turning events from passive experiences into active ones. It's not only an anchor of engagement and extremely sticky and fun, but it can fuel the exact actions you want your attendees to take to have a better event experience. Or another key way to use the game is incentivizing attendees to visit sponsor booths, in person and virtual alike. This is a lot like the punch cards or passports you've probably seen in expo halls, but you can go a step further with the game and gamify taking action in virtual booths, like watching a video or signing up for an email list. And that gives sponsors valuable data and leads. I really love our customer Hug as another example of a game done right. Hug stands for Host Users Group, an association of users of hospitality management software. And their first ever virtual version of their annual conference in 2020, the Hug organizers took advantage of Socio's event game and designed fun and incentivizing challenges for making new connections, answering trivia questions, interacting with sponsor booths, and more. The game fueled incredible engagement and helped springboard ticket sales for the 2021 conference.
I love that momentum, Kara. Now, for many event organizers, ticket sales are actually a significant, if not primary, source of revenue. Whether you use paid tickets primarily to defray costs or generate a profit, or even just ensure your attendees have some skin in the game, it's likely you're going to need flexibility in your event software to implement ticketing and registration strategies that maximize ROI. This is true for many event professionals. 83% of those surveyed generate event revenue from ticket sales, and 38% reported that over half of their event revenue comes from those sales. Flexibility in ticketing functionality is particularly critical for hybrid events, where providing different tickets, prices, and types of access for in person and virtual attendees is key to creating seamless yet customized experiences. In fact, 64% of event professionals reported that their most likely hybrid event ticketing strategy would be to charge for both audiences, but with a higher price for in person tickets.
And socio registration gives event planners all the flexibility they need, with the ability to create any number of ticket types, both free and paid, create hidden tickets with special access codes, provide incentives via discount codes, create ticket types that expire at certain dates, aka early bird pricing, tie certain tickets or checkout questions to groups, leading to a personalized attendee journey in the entire event platform, collect payments via credit card or invoicing, and manage orders directly in the Socio platform. All of this flexibility helps event organizers use smart ticketing strategies that drive registration and ensure the financial success of the event. And of course, we have data dashboards for all that great registration data as well. Here are ticket sales over time. I like how this example shows some on-demand ticket purchases after the late July event. And here you can see your sales at a glance, including a breakdown by ticket type.
Ticketing is just one key part of success. So let's talk about some other major sources of event revenue. For many, both internal and external events, sponsors and exhibitors play a huge role in creating the experience, content, and community, just like all our fantastic sponsors here at WebexOne. And for many event planners, they are a primary source of revenue, often helping to keep the costs for attendees low or even free. According to another socio poll, the top two reasons sponsors invest in your events are for brand exposure and to generate leads. Additionally, more than 43% of event professionals reported that over half of their overall event revenue comes from those paid sponsorships.
And the best way to elevate the value from a virtual sponsorship is to echo classic in person event tactics. There are passports for visiting sponsor booths, raffles, setting up buffets or the bar near sponsors, putting special attractions in the expo hall. Basically, we put stuff our attendees want by our sponsors and exhibitors. Virtual sponsor options can mirror and even amplify these time tested placement strategies. And hybrid events offer sponsors the best of both worlds, with visibility and ROI generating opportunities in a physical and digital venue.
So go ahead and navigate over to the sponsors feature here at WebexOne, and you'll see how every booth has a custom branded look, great content, and many ways to engage. You might even come across some challenge codes for the game. So whether your event is fully virtual, entirely in person, or hybrid, you can create a sponsor kit, tiers, and a la carte options that combine this wide range of in-person and virtual sponsorship benefits. With Socio, you can provide your sponsors with rich lead and engagement data like banner clicks, sponsor booth visits, video room participation, link and document clicks, and even sponsored session attendance. So you can prove impact and ROI for every aspect of your event. The more sponsored elements you can tie in with the event experience in your digital venue and custom event app, the more valuable engagement data you'll collect and be able to provide to your sponsors. And this helps them know that they're getting a great return on investment and decide to sponsor or exhibit next year.
And speaking of the leads that they're getting, despite all the money that sponsors and exhibitors invest in events, 80% of the leads they gather never get a follow up. The fishbowl method for gathering business cards is still pretty common, so it's not surprising that those leads don't have much of a future. But even leads gathered with lead retrieval devices, they can be a black box for both booth staff and marketers. And this is why Socio created our own lead retrieval. Exhibitors can quickly get up and running scanning the QR codes on attendee badges. And this is using an app on their own phone or tablet, not rented hardware. They can easily rate and qualify every lead right in the lead retrieval mobile app, collaborate with their teammates to nurture leads right away, and see activity in real time on a lead management dashboard. And my absolute favorite thing about Socio Lead Retrieval, you can instantly export the lead data. From there, you can add it to your CRM or sales pipeline. That sets up sales and marketing teams to follow up with leads quickly while they're hot. You know, Andrew, that reminds me of the hottest marketing event in the UK.
I was thinking just the same thing, Kara. So let's hear from one of our customers. Socio Customer MADFest was launched in 2018 to challenge the status quo of events and bring the global marketing community together. It has won several industry awards and doubled in size every year. And we are so thrilled to welcome MADFest co-founders, expert marketers, and masters of the event experience, Ian Houghton and Dan Brain. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us. So I'd love for you to tell us the story of MadFest and how you transitioned to a global hybrid gathering for literally thousands of marketers.
Absolutely, Andrew. Ian and I set up MADFest in 2018. And we really felt that having worked in the industry for a long time, we'd seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of live events. A lot of people were saying to us in the marketing and advertising sector that the crop of events at that time weren't really delivering in terms of value, in terms of experience, in terms of vibrancy. So they've become a little bit staid. They kind of all look the same. So Ian and I did the only sensible thing. We quit our jobs, we raised some money, and in 5.5 months, we delivered MADFest London, which is a marketing, advertising, disruption festival. The whole concept was around combining really amazing content with a unique experience and bringing our sponsors and partners into that experience. So we worked very closely with Socio to create really innovative experiences, to facilitate networking, and really make a lot of those things come to life. Then COVID came along and it forced a pivot into virtual events, which was actually really successful for us. So we use the Socio platform and very, very high production standards to create a really interactive and engaging virtual experience. All of that led on to MADFest London 2021, which was the first ever hybrid MADFest. So we had around 4,000 people at the Old Truman Brewery and another 4,000 tuning in globally to MADFest. So a really interesting challenge, a great opportunity to bring the community together, both in the physical sense and the virtual sense, and really sort of take advantage of all of this pent up demand and the fact that people were really, really itching to get involved and attend events, whether they could attend in person or just online.
What an awesome event, Dan. Sign me up. Now, you've had to navigate a situation where some of your sponsors can staff in person booths, which I understand are more like mini pubs, but others can only sponsor virtually. So, how has this hybrid approach to sponsors and exhibitors played out?
It's really played out very well for us. You know, sponsors are the key revenue source for our show, and therefore we have to offer them opportunities that create really strong ROI. So the partnership we have with Socio enables us to use their tools and prove to the sponsors just how well they've done at the event, whether they've been there live using the mobile app or whether they've been there in a hybrid sense using the web app. And a really good example of this is a major household name sponsor couldn't come to the show this year. They had to do everything via hybrid. They still had an incredible event. They delivered everything that they needed to do. They still got all the value from it. And their ROI was excellent. And speaking to them afterwards from a pure hybrid experience, our event was the best event in terms of metrics and ROI that they had done for 3 years. And that was thanks to the Socio partnership.
Wow, Ian, that's fantastic to hear. Now, delivering value for both in person and virtual attendees also requires a pretty clear strategy. So, Dan, how did you provide and measure that value for your audience?
Yeah, I think, nobody is under any illusion that hybrid events are a little bit more complicated than we've been used to. It's one thing running an event in person, it's one thing running a virtual event. Bringing those two elements together requires a really, really clear strategy. So I think working with trusted technology partners is absolutely crucial. It's been fantastic working with Socio to make sure that the experience is reliable, that we're delivering value for attendees, that people can actually strike a conversation, be it in the real world or physical world. So I think going forward, it's going to be really important to fuse those elements to bring live and virtual together and make sure that the experience is as good as possible, because you live and die by your production values. Your brilliant event, your brilliant content, your fantastic audience, it can all fall flat if the platform doesn't work, if the live stream breaks down. So we're really, really excited to work with Socio as we take the business forward.
Really good example of this. A lady from Uruguay obviously couldn't come to London for our event, so she jumped onto the Socio web app and jumped into MADFest that way. She met lots and lots of people. She connected with lots of people. And off the back of her experience on the web app, she was able to organize her own webinar for 100 potential clients in the UK. And that is amazing ROI for one of our delegates that's used the app.
Wow, that's great to hear about how much success you're creating and also proving for your sponsors and your attendees. So, can you tell us though what constitutes success for you for MadFest, and how are you measuring your own ROI?
Yeah, we measure our own ROI through people rebooking, through delegates coming again, through delegates bringing colleagues again. We measure it in terms of the connections that physical sponsors have made, as well as online sponsors and virtual hybrid sponsors have made. And ultimately, our ROI is measured for us, and MadFest doubles every year in revenue and is always a sellout event to delegates. And that's got to be because of what we're doing, but also because of the technology that we offer through Socio to make it a valuable event for everybody.
So great to hear, particularly that you're doubling revenue year over year, even despite a global pandemic. That's just fantastic. You've won so many awards for innovation and creativity through this process, but I'm curious, I have to know what's next from the brains behind MadFest.
Yeah, you mentioned the P word there, the pandemic, Andrew, and there's no denying that it's been an incredibly challenging and testing time for the whole industry. MadFest is no exception, but I think with creative energy and ideas combined with innovation and good partners, that's really helped us and actually helped the business to grow under really, really challenging circumstances. So we're really excited about the future. We want to take MadFest to the next level. We want to introduce bold features. We want to increase our audience on site, online, and just really, really constantly focus on that event experience and enabling online attendees and virtual attendees to interact, to come together, to speak, to strike a dialogue. Everybody talks about the future of the industry being hybrid. And I think it's our responsibility as a small, agile business to really deliver on that and push what's actually possible.
Well, congratulations, Dan and Ian, on your remarkable successes thus far. I can't wait to see what's next. A big, heartfelt thanks from the whole team at Socio. We're so thrilled to get to be partners with you in this journey and to provide such a fantastic experience for your attendees and your sponsors. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for all your help, Andrew.
Thank you.
Like the vast majority of event professionals, Dan and Ian at MadFest are not putting on just a single standalone event. Each of their events becomes part of a legacy of on-demand content and a community interconnected over time. And with Socio's hybrid event technology, organizers and marketers are using their digital venues and event apps to create community and drive continuous engagement throughout an entire events program.
Are you inspired to produce amazing, successful events that create and improve ROI? With Socio and the Webex Events portfolio, you can do just that. Everything you've seen here and more is available today in the Webex suite for enterprise agreement customers through the Socio Limited Early Access Program. Just reach out to your account rep. If you're a Cisco partner or sales rep or a prospective customer, you can request more info about Socio using these links or by connecting with us right here in the event. Thanks again for joining, and here's to a future of hybrid event success.